So you've seen a few of my videos and you think you know me, right? You've seen a few of these videos and you think that you have me down. You got an idea of who I am. You understand my character type. You get a sense of what my personality might be like. But here's something I want you to recognize. You only know what I've chosen to show. You only know the parts of me that I choose to show you. So you don't really know me. Just like you choose to show the world what you want. They don't know you. All they've done is make an assessment based on the character that you show the world. If you never actually show your full self and you only show portions of yourself, nobody actually knows who you really are. Only you do. And why am I talking about this? It's because the moment that you try to make a change, it seems outside of who you are to them. It's not out of alignment of who you really are. It's only out of alignment to who they think you are. Do you follow along with what I'm saying here? This means that any time that you try to make a change for the positive, hopefully, it means that the people around you will feel kind of uncomfortable. Haven't you ever noticed that? Haven't you ever noticed that when you try to make a change, you want to improve yourself, the people around you start to act a little differently. They start to question your behavior. They start to say, oh, why are you doing that? That's not like you. That's not like you. See, because they think they know you. They think they understand your personality, who you are, even your family and friends, people who have known you for years. They can never fully understand you. They could say things like, I know you better than you know yourself. That's not true, and it never will be. How could it be? You're with you 24/7. You know all the inner workings of your mind. You know who you really are inside. They don't know it because you don't always show it. So when you try to make these changes and these people start to see that you're somebody different, they're going to become sometimes a little resentful. You ever notice that? They kind of get a little bit like negative towards you. They're like, that's not like you. That's not who you are. They're trying to define who you are. Now look, I want to preface this by saying this is a natural tendency that humans have. This is not something bad. It's actually very good because we do this, like stereotyping people, if you want to call it that, because it keeps us safe. We could start to recognize patterns within people. And the moment we do that, we can kind of classify people. We see, okay, who is that guy? And I see him like as a stranger at first. Is he safe? Is he somebody who I should approach? I search my memory banks and I start to ask myself, is this person somebody that I can approach? Is it somebody that I should avoid? And the way that I'm doing that is all based on past experiences that I've had or things that people have told me about that person or that person's type. But again, I won't know that person. I'm judging based on their appearance, or I'm judging based on something that they said right in that moment, or I'm basing it on the way they're acting in that moment. Is the way that somebody's acting right now in this very moment who they actually are? Of course not. How could it be? That's just one moment in time. That's not who they really are. Anything that you say, anything that you do does not actually define you as a person. Now, that goes deep, but I just want you to recognize what I'm trying to say here is that the moment that you start to try to make changes in your life, what's going to happen is the people around you will start to see these differences and they won't like it. And the reason why is not because they don't necessarily want to see you improve. It could be the case, but it's not usually that. It's that it makes them feel uncomfortable. Now, why? Why does it make them feel uncomfortable? What is the reason behind the fact that they would start to feel uncomfortable? Because they should feel good for you, right? They should feel good like that you're trying to improve their life. But here's what happens. Those people start to see it. And two reasons. One, they start to see you as somebody different. And it makes them feel uncomfortable because you're no longer who they think you are. And they don't know how to relate to you anymore. See, because they had a certain standard for you and now they're unsure. So that uncertainty causes frustration inside of them and they don't know how to respond to it. Number two, the reason is because now it kind of puts them in a place where they have to make a choice. Should they stay the way they are? They feel conflicted knowing maybe they should make a change as well, right? So for example, why don't I give you a practical example? Let's say you made the decision, you're cutting out junk food. No more junk food. You decided that that's the right call for you and you're not going to do it anymore. Okay, let's say you start on that habit. You start doing that. The people around you, your friends, family, they see you start to eat healthy, not eating the junk food. And now they don't feel good about it. Why? Because they are still eating the junk food. They're still doing the same habits that you were doing before. At one point, it was all comfortable. Everybody's eating the junk food. Everybody's eating junk. Everything's good. You change. They still want to eat the junk food. They still want to do the same habits, those bad habits that you know are now wrong. You don't want to do them anymore, but they're not ready to level up their life. The two choices they have is either they could stay the same or they could change. There's only those two options. If they try to change themselves, that's a good thing. But more times than not, they won't change and they'll try to pull you back down with them. Think about that. They will pull you back down with them. And they don't even mean to. Oftentimes they don't mean to. It's all subconscious. They're acting this way simply because they want to feel comfortable. They want to get things back to the status quo, the way that things should be. But that doesn't work for you. That doesn't work for you because you have a life ahead of you. Maybe these people don't care the same way you do. You have a path in your mind of where you want to go. And you can't let any of these other people around you, whether that's your friends, family, strangers, anybody, dictate what you do. You know what you need to do. You know yourself better than anybody. Don't let anybody tell you that they know you more than you know yourself. That's not true. You know you. And because of that, you make the choice.